How about some September awards? What do you guys think about that? You ready for some September awards?
Well, it's your show, Jay, so we have to be ready.
4 downs, 4 questions, 4 answers. The Dave Hooker Show.
4
downs. A presentation of offthehooksports.com.
All right, 4 downs. Pardon me, brought to you by Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Hahn. Enjoy life when you see better. Look at me, no contacts, no glasses, local vision service for LASIK, cataract surgery, and regular eye examination, ccteyes.com. That's ccteyes.com. We'll go ahead and get to it. And Cooper Mays, that is on our YouTube channel. The Vol Report, brought to you by Campbell, Cunningham, Taylor, and Hahn, sets us up for 4 downs, and it is now. What should people do, Coop?
Cooper Mays here. Hit like and subscribe.
Okie dokie. First down.
Coop here. First down.
What is the biggest September surprise in college football and the SEC? Caleb, I'll begin with you, sir.
Ooh, the biggest September. I mean, college football, it's Colorado and Shedeur Sanders. I know they played horrible last week, but like we started talking about Shedeur Sanders as a Heisman candidate. So I don't really think there's a close second in terms of the biggest September surprise. As far as the SEC, I mean, that's tough because can we do negative surprises?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love a good negative surprise.
KJ Jefferson being totally irrelevant for Arkansas. I thought he'd be better than he's been.
All right, John, what about you?
Colorado and Deion, or Coach Prime, or whatever you want to call him, definitely got to keep in mind this is the entertainment business, and who's more entertaining? He's a villain in some camps, he's a hero in others. So, yeah, that's been the biggest surprise, and his son is part of that. He's an outstanding quarterback and a legitimate Heisman contender. So that's the biggest surprise. In the SEC, I have to go with Missouri's fan base. I've covered games at Missouri and not an SEC fan base. It's different from Vanderbilt, and there are more people at the stadium. I know Vanderbilt fans, they don't even bother to go. But Missouri fans show up. They just don't seem like an SEC fan base. Bottom line, they're not hostile enough. But when I saw them against Kansas State, and then they charged on the field, I just didn't even think that was possible for Missouri football fans. So I think now Missouri has a legitimate home field advantage, and I didn't think that previously. Also, I have Missouri picked to finish 6th in the SEC East. It's unbeaten right now, and after watching Kansas State, I believe this could be an 8-win team.
I will go with Deion on a national perspective, and I will say my September surprise is that Nick Saban didn't have a better plan for his quarterbacks and was still unsure and had to bounce all over the place. Usually he has conviction, maybe wrong, maybe right, but I'm surprised that's not Saban-like at all, is it, John?
No, it was just kind of like, well, we'll see how this plays out. Maybe one of these guys will get better overnight. No, that's not happening.
Looking
John,
for
don't
a
you think
gamer.
Don't you think Nick Saban overruled Tommy Rees, basically? I feel like Tommy Rees made the quarterback decision to bench Milroe, and then I feel like Saban's like, to my new offensive coordinator, you're stupid, and I made a bad hire, and I'm overruling you, and I'm going to put Jalen Milroe in.
Yeah, I could see Saban calling one of his coordinators stupid, definitely. But I think Nick Saban abhors turnovers. And what Jalen Milroe did in that Texas game, that's unacceptable from Saban's standpoint. Remember, he used to win with game managers at quarterback. He won championships that way. No, that goes right to his core. So now I can see he may not be thrilled with Tommy Rees. I don't see why anybody would be, but I still think he would have made that decision after the Texas game.
All right. What down is next, Coop?
Cooper Mays here. Second down.
All right. Second down is this. The September star in college football and the SEC. Guys, I'm going to go Deion again for that. And I hate to do that, but it's repetitive. But who's the September star for the SEC? John?
Not sure I have one.
Do you think the SEC is just down as a whole?
Well, I mean, just look around. I thought Harold Perkins might have been one of the best defensive players in the country last year at LSU. Now they're tinkering around with him. Well, maybe we should play him over here or over there. We want him back in coverage. We want him spying on a quarterback. I don't know what they're doing with him. I thought he would be a superstar this year. Let me think about that some more. Can we have a fifth down where I come back and say, "Oh, I'll pick this guy"? I've got a national star though.
Okay, give me a national star. And I'm going to go ahead and tell you my SEC star is Bobby Petrino, because he brought some semblance to Texas A&M in terms of offensively. They did lose to Miami, but I mean, that's a pretty good football team. So 3-1, I thought I would have to go Bobby Petrino. I think A&M should be happy, except for the fact that they want Jimbo Fisher fired and they'd like for them to tank.
And they want him tortured first for all the money he's stolen there. Actually, if I were going to, it's the star of the SEC is Brock Bowers of Georgia. He's just hidden because he's a tight end. But I love watching that guy play. He's just so much fun to watch. So I would say Brock Bowers.
And he's also kind of old news, like Peyton Manning was. We've heard so much about it.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, oh, he broke 3 tackles. Oh, he hurdled the guy. Oh, now he's running the ball on a jet sweep. We've seen that before.
Caleb, September stars, sir.
Going quarterbacks, but I'm going to go like I talked earlier because I'm still so in love with Cameron Ward at Washington State. He's my star on a national scale. I just think he's done an amazing job. People watch him; he's really good. At the SEC level, it's funny because we talked about him in the first segment. I'm going to say Spencer Rattler because we're already talking about him maybe sitting the season. I think that's because he's even though South Carolina's 2-2, he's really improved his draft stock this month of September because he proved at the end of last year wasn't a fluke. Like we're watching him play and we're like, "Oh, that guy's good." Everybody around him's terrible. I mean, that's what we're all seeing.
There you go. Which down is it now, Coop?
Tennessee center Cooper Mays here. 3rd down.
Maybe we overlapped here. September SEC Player of the Month probably is Brock Bowers. It's hard to top him. Guys, who would you throw out there as a possible competition?
Well, I think Caleb just said it. Spencer Rattler. He's completing over 70% of his passes behind a wretched offensive line. So that speaks all you need to hear. So, yeah.
It's pretty good. Isn't it weird that we're not even talking about like maybe a Will Anderson out there or a great pass rusher or a great something? I mean, we're talking about a tight end and a guy that has certainly made plays, but was horrible this time last year. That is odd to me.
Yeah, I would say it is kind of wild. And that's the thing. It's like in a year where the SEC quarterbacks is down, you think you would find somebody. I'm going to go a little bit out on a limb, and I might say Malik Neighbors right now as the start through 4 games. Jayden Daniels still has the best stats of any quarterback in the SEC right now. And I think that has a lot more to do with Malik Neighbors than it does Jayden Daniels. So I'll go Malik Neighbors.
There you go. All right, final down, Coop.
All SEC center Cooper Mays here. 4th down.
SEC September Team of the Month is?
This is default.
Is the SEC it's got to be Georgia still, right? Boring, but Georgia.
I'll go with Missouri. Who has the best non-conference win of any team in the SEC?
By far, Missouri. Yeah,
it's Missouri. I mean, the other team, the good teams, we saw what LSU did against Florida State. It just wilted in the second half. We saw A&M secondary. It looked like Tennessee secondary against Miami. So, yeah, I think it's Missouri. It's unbeaten, and Kentucky's unbeaten too, but we know
they've had the worst schedule of all time.
I mean, how shameless. I mean, they just, I can imagine.
Georgia's not much better.
What? No, you're
Georgia's
right.
not much better.
I can imagine someone saying in Kentucky football office, say, "Do you think maybe we should schedule a little better?" And Mark Stoops saying, "No, we're good. Yeah,
we're fine."
Well, no, yeah.
Do you want to play Louisville? No, I'm good.
No, that's not necessary. Why should we? Why should we make them legitimate? No.
Yeah. What about North Carolina? They're close. No, good. Fine, just fine. Let's skip over that and let's just move forward and play Western Kentucky.
It's an honorary member of the MAC now. Kentucky is.
Well, Maction, 90 seconds. And
by the way, it is Missouri. John's right. The surprise team, the team of the SEC is Missouri. And if you were doing a college football playoff ranking, they'd be number 1 in the SEC right now.
Oh man!
Whoa!
Undefeated with a good win. Georgia has beaten a bunch of plumbers, and Kentucky has beaten a bunch of electricians. So it's
There's nothing wrong with a good trade endeavor, Caleb.
No, I'm a big fan of good plumbers. I've got one, and it's amazing to have a good plumber.